Hello, hello.
My YouTube crashed.
Did you get it fixed?
I reinstalled it.
Oh.
But when it came back up, it says your YouTube crashed. Do you want to report it?
Turn the volume down. Hang on, guys. We're having a bit of a... Turn the volume down. Hang on, guys. Technical difficulties. Whew. What can I say? It's been one of them days. Oh my gosh. Oh gosh, guys. Let me go up here. And you with us now, Rick?
I think so.
He thinks so. Okay. All of a sudden, Rick went to sign into YouTube and nothing. It just kept flashing. Yeah, his YouTube crashed. So, yeah. All right. We have Jared. He's saying hello. We have Joe, Bad Idea Lab. How are you, honey? He's sharing it out on Facebook. And oh my God, I got a whiner in there. She's hearing us. Lucky James Eller. Hello,
hey, James.
hello. And scrolling.
Hey,
And
Papa Rao.
Papa Roush in the building. Hello, honey. And as usual, we will all be rating Papa Roush after that. Grandma Kelly, thank you so much, honey. Oh, gosh, I need to call you later or you call me afterwards. Whatever you get, it's probably easier for you to call me.
Oh, thank you, Bill.
Thank you, Bill. What Kelly said. Yeah, ditto, right?
Hey, Ringo Czar.
Does anybody know the movie that used the phrase ditto a lot and it meant something? Does anybody remember that? Ringo and Czar, hello, honey.
Hey, Danny Dizzle.
Danny D, how are you? And there's Mr. Richie.
Master Main. Tom Kingery.
Resident Evil, haven't seen you in here forever. Hello.
Kenneth Bird.
Mr. Kingery, Kenneth Bird. Wow, Rick's right on top of everything this evening. Golly, you can tell I need a nap.
Resident Evil AMC.
Yes, haven't seen him in a long time. And
hey,
girl. You know, I love you all.
Hey, Mark.
Technical difficulties. I mean, getting out of bed is a technical difficulty for me anymore.
There's the Bud Files.
Bud Files, hello. I'll get down there eventually.
King Gold, New York.
King's Gold, hello, baby.
Mark TBH.
Oh. So many things I could say, right? The bacon hanging.
Okay, I'm at the bottom.
Are we at the bottom?
Yeah. And I think he's in the basement.
Sorry it took so long. Yeah. But yeah, I see him right there in the basement. Can you see him? Guys, I have pinned at the top of the chat our guests tonight. Of course, everybody knows Jared from Flying Arrow. And if we're lucky, we'll get a sneak peek. You know how you used to call me Skittles, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, we got another Skittles in the building. Kingery got it. Boom. He would never tell Demi Moore he loved her. He always said ditto. And so when the ghost was trying to convince Demi that it was Patrick she was channeling, he said, tell her ditto. Yeah. Yes. So, yeah. But anyway, guys, we are going to, like I said, I'm scatterbrained. He threw me off guard with his technical difficulties. And then I got a baby in there whining and crying. She heard the music and she's like, y'all doing this without me. So, but anyway, guys, here we go. We all know him. We all love him. We've all been through some ups and downs with him, and we've all hung in there together. And we are proud to announce a new papa again. Boom, Jared.
Hey, Jared.
Hey, Angie. Hey, Rick. Thank you.
How are you?
It's been a day. Been working on my real estate license. Trying to get my real estate license right now. So, been working on that all day long when I'm not taking care of little Skittles. So
little see.
So, yeah. See, Johnny and Greg from Chop Shop and whatnot, and Wendy from Wendy's Excellent Adventure. They kind of gave her that nickname on Johnny's 5K giveaway. So it's kind of stuck with her. So
yeah, Rick got mad at me once because I went and had 5 different colors put in my hair. Yeah, he was mad. And we went to church the next day, I think it was, and the kids were like, "What happened to your hair?" Of course, they were all loving it. And Rick says, "That's what happens when you fall asleep with Skittles in your mouth." And ever since then, they called me Skittles. So, so can I be the proud auntie of little Skittles?
yeah, I've already said she's got a huge treasure family supporting here. So all the kids do. So
yeah. Mark says flying arrow.
Well, a lot of people don't know this, but other than my Flying Arrow channel, I have another channel.
Really?
It's called Fam Studios, and it's where I've been doing a lot more of the laser engraving. I've been making a lot of sourdough bread on there. I actually just made a short the other day of a pizza that I made with sourdough. So it's where I do a lot more of the cooking and kind of, anything not treasure fam related.
Right. Jersey Ray here for a bit. Got to feed them horses.
Hey, Jersey
and
Ray.
You know what? One of the horses in the barn belongs to Springsteen, right? If I'm not born in the USA, Springsteen. Yeah, if I'm not mistaken. And there's Miss Beth.
Hey,
hello,
Beth.
hello.
Hey, Torchy.
Hey, Torchy.
Hey,
I love this community, guys. You do not know how. Oh, yeah, Treasure Hunter Neil's up there. You all do not know what a big part of our family you all have become. So yeah, Danny D, if you don't care, grab his other channel and throw it link up in there because I definitely want to check that out. The laser engraving.
Yep.
I am looking for some merch.
See, I made this hat actually. Try to get my camera light on. So this is that other logo.
That's awesome.
And I hand stitched them on. Also my Flying Arrow. This one's kind of faded and old.
That is amazing.
I've made at least a dozen or 2 dozen other channels. Their logo on a patch. Actually, Tom Kingery has one of them, I believe, that I made.
Oh, really? So how long would it take you to make one? And what's the price, basically?
So
Rick's already shaking over here.
The leather's gone up in price a little bit, but I charge $45 for a hat, and that's hand stitched, custom laser engraved, everything. And I've got multiple colors I can do them in. Also, I've made several for Johnny's Corner, and I've done those in blue. So,
hey, Ronnie,
Mark, That's the other thing I'm working on. I'm working on my drone license with the FAA. So I gotta watch what I do there. So.
Yeah. Ronnie's Adventure. Hello, honey.
Hey, Ron.
Did somebody say metal detector?
But
Mermaids
yeah,
in
so,
here.
let's see.
The
other things that I've done is like dog tags.
Hey, mermaid.
Dog tags. Now that
So
is
these are for the
probably
event
more.
that I'm doing in August. End of August, I've got an event here in Iowa, supporting the Iowa Association of the Deaf, where we are raising money and awareness for the Iowa Association of the Deaf, trying to bring acceptance and kind of open people's minds up that sign language is still a voice. Hey, Greg. Mr. Chop Shop.
There's the amazing Chop Shop. Guys,
hey, Chop Shop.
Try to get
Why
over.
Not? But
this
that's one of the things
here.
that we've been doing with some of the laser work lately. Stuff
Right. Now that may be more into my price range. What's the price range on that one?
So I usually charge $5 per tag.
Okay. Yeah, I'm going to hang on. I can't talk and do something here at the same time. Yeah, I'm going to order some of those because what would you all say about giving one away tonight with our channel logo on it?
We don't even
got them. I know we don't got them yet, but we can get them. So, okay, we'll order some and we'll give it away later. How's that?
Okay.
All right.
Hey, Georgianne.
Him over. Hi, Georgianne.
Hey, Georgianne.
A worry wart over here. He's a little stressed out because I took him yard selling. He wanted to go yard selling and flea marketing and stuff, and I hit his wallet pretty hard.
Yeah.
So, but Joe, you'd never believe it. He had 2 big old sheets of leather out there, like rawhide leather type stuff, because he did leather work. And I thought, I'd like to have it, but I don't know nothing about leather work, and I don't need no leather.
I do leather work.
Yeah, if I'd have known that, I would have picked that sucker up. I did buy me a wood burning kit. I'm gonna learn.
Bug.
And
get your belt.
He had a massive toolbox with a massive load of tools. So yeah, I think my workshop is pretty set up right now. You know, he even had some foraging hammers so I got those for Josh and stuff too. So
Georgianne, nice. See, this is something I made last year for the Autism Tennessee event. Oh, I think that froze.
No.
Bear with us, guys.
There you go.
Denise. Yeah, sorry guys. There must be a storm coming in or something. We might check the alignment. Because we had to move it so I can mow today. So yeah. Denise, thank you so much, honey. She gifted out 5 memberships. That is amazing. Thank you so much. Denise, did you get my email, girl? Sorry. That is a very cool belt. Show me the belt. I missed the belt.
So it's kind of hard to see it right here, but it's got a strong arm here with the magnet. And this was for the kids for this one. I also did 2 other ones that had metal plates riveted to them. The only issue, I had some issues with it because it was my first time doing belts with the rivets staying on, but ended up doing those 2. One of them actually went with Sonic over to the UK with Adventures of Sonic and Friends. And then Let's Get Magnetic won the other one that I had. Hey, Wendy.
Yeah. Yes, I'm turning Miss Wendy.
Hey, blue. Wendy.
Johnny Small Pepper.
Hey, Johnny Small Pepper.
I'm trying to watch chat, talk to Jared, and make moderators all at the same time. Oh my gosh.
But you never
you're
teach
good.
me how to.
Well, I've got to find a way. Somebody's got to teach me how to make him a acting mod so that he can go in and make him joint owner of so he can do stuff too.
Whenever we're not
so
on live, I can show you how to do some of that because I've done that with Dad's channel.
Oh, really?
So like
Yeah.
I'm editor on 3 channels right now that I kind of help out with in the background. So
yeah, see, that's what we need so that he could be sitting over there doing making mods and dropping links and I can teach him. He's wanting to get more involved in it, but I can only teach him what I know. So
yeah.
and it's about that.
Yeah, it's not that much.
I said that much.
That much.
I'm gonna put you back in your cage, hostage.
But,
Oh, good night, Jersey Ray.
night, Jersey Ray.
Oh gosh.
Hey, Denise.
Oh, making mods and dropping links. Yeah, that's yeah, I see it, Denise. I was asking her, I didn't see her response if she got my email. Denise is like one of those sisters that, God gives you. Unfortunately, she's up in Canada, so it's not like I can just pick up the phone and call her. And I was thinking about her yesterday and sent her an email. So, but anyway, love you, sister. Okay, Mr. Jared, like I said, now, see, I didn't even know you had the other channel. And so that will be something we'll all want to check out. Thank you, Miss Denise. And I don't know if they dropped the other.
I'm getting it right now.
Oh, okay, hon. If you could do that and drop that. And because that's something I definitely want to check out. I love creative people. You know what I'm saying? I love learning about the different crafts and different things. And of course, me being bipolar, I've got so many hobbies now. Rick's like, oh my God, not another one.
I just dropped it in chat.
Fam Studios. Yes. All right. Yeah, be sure to grab that, Rick, so you can remind me and I'll go in and wait a minute. I think I might. Well, never mind. I don't want to mess nothing up. So yes.
Yeah, I just took basically the flying arrow magnetics and just shortened it down to FAM because a lot of people have called me that, been like, "Hey, what's up, FAM?" for short for flying arrow.
Right. So, yeah.
And I was like, you know what? Because originally the channel was going to be called FAM Leather, and I decided I didn't want to just do leather work on it. I was like, I like making sourdough. I started making sourdough early this year, and doing cooking videos and stuff. Because I'm actually a certified chef. I went to culinary school and graduated, got my medal there from culinary school. So it's one of my big achievements that I'm proud of. And pork chop. Greg always calls me flaming arrow
leather.
or flam.
Yeah,
flaming leather.
like I said,
that. We've got a joke between us, so I call him pork chop. So, and the joke behind that actually started when I was on another channel, and instead of I'd sent him stickers, and instead of saying flying arrow, he said flaming arrow magnetics, and so we just kind of made a joke out of it. So
I'm bad for that. Is to messing people's. My mouth works faster than my brain, so yeah, culinary school is a big achievement.
Yeah.
See, and we had to do what you would do in a normal associate's degree, 2 to 2.5 years, in 11 months. So I was at school 16 hours a day.
Yeah.
Thank you, Wendy.
Wendy says, but you are favorite. Oh. But see, yeah, I should say, I'm just actually getting to know like Wendy and Chop Shop and all of those. And I'm loving it. Mo Style.
Hey
Hi,
Mo.
honey. And that's why
Hey,
I like having
Mo.
people come up on for these interviews so that we can get to know them. And not
Yep.
only that, I think that people, like I've said before, um, people get to know you, they invest in you. You know what I'm saying? And the more they I think I know me personally, some channels I watch because I like the person. And I'll say this, and I don't think that he'll care, because well, if he does, but anyway, um, like Rob, I love his metal detecting and stuff like that. I'm not big into coin roll hunting, but I will watch his channels
Yeah.
because I'm invested in Rob. You know what I'm saying? And that's the same thing. I know some people like some of the stuff we do. Some people don't like some of the stuff we do. They might like something else that we do. That's why we try to give a variety, but it's all
Yep.
basically us being us, you know. So I think the more people get to know you, the more they get invested in you. And like I said, a culinary chef and he's got a cooking
Yeah.
channel. This the world will be watching that channel or making him watch it. One of the two, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, and,
I
and you
was
see,
actually
I had some old cooking videos or little bits that I'd done on the Flying Arrow page, and I was just like, it's messing up my algorithm to where it's not really getting seen much. I was getting like maybe 100 views on a short there for a while, and some shorts it was maybe even 20 or 30 views, and I was actually shadow banned because of some of the laser engraving I did. Someone reported one of the videos I did. So I decided to just make a new channel, try to clean up the Flying Arrow page for all the non treasure hunting or outdoor stuff is on the other channel, and kind of separate them to where if one of them's hit, I got the other one.
Right. Yeah. Well, see, that's like, with our channel, like I said, it's basically a family adventure channel, family activities, stuff like that. So, but what I do is in my playlist, I break it down. I have metal detecting, I have magnet fishing, I have dumpster diving, I'm doing drive streams now, and I break the lives down. So, I try to break it down. You don't want to watch dumpster diving? Hey, you can go watch the metal detecting. You don't like this? You can go watch this, or sometimes just watch our lives and go, look, who's those two crazy people?
Hey,
Oh,
gentleman prospector.
Hey, GP.
oh, GP, that is another one. We're going to get him and Mama Bird up here because they are just so much fun. And that's why I
They
try
are.
to encourage people like, especially like Mermaid, which I know she's growing leaps and bounds. But I also want to, like, there's so many people going through this list that I'm like, oh yeah, I'd love to interview them. I'd love to interview them. But maybe give your channel maybe a little bit of a boost, or like I said, maybe get people to invest more in the person. Once they see the person, they put a face to the name, and you know, and so I try to do this, try to help out other channels, even though I'm still a small channel, but getting to know people, that's what it's all about,
Yeah.
So,
Hey, old Blown.
Yeah, oh, Pylone. I just,
Hey, Pylone.
Yeah, I've been trying to get my channel to where I've been picking it up a little bit more, because there for a while I kind of stopped posting a little bit, had a lot going on, both health-wise with myself and the wife with her delivering the baby. So trying to pick up stuff again and get things going. Hey, Mama Bird.
Yeah, and you was sick there for a while, right? You had surgery on your ankles and stuff.
Yeah, I had surgery April 4th. I had total ankle reconstruction surgery. And then in May, I ended up getting really sick because I've got diverticulitis, which is an intestinal issue. And it put me in the hospital for a week, and they thought that I was going to have emergency surgery. I'm still under watch for it, where I'm going to the doctor regularly to have it checked for the levels of infection. But we're planning a surgery on that in September, so I can have a little time to heal from it before they do the surgery.
Right, right. See, that's what I've got diverticulitis.
It
And
sucks.
oh, it does. Especially when my favorite snacks I can't have no more. But it
What's
caused
that?
some complication. Popcorn, peanuts, and pistachios.
They have actually confirmed that is all a myth about the food. That's what my
No.
GI doctor told me.
Oh, I tell him, I said he's wrong because I can
'Cause-
eat popcorn, peanuts, and it'll send me to the hospital every time.
Huh.
I mean,
See, that's what I was doing. I was avoiding it. Just put it in there, honey. I was avoiding all those for 2 years, and then he was like, "You don't have to." He goes, "They've confirmed that it's all the GI bacteria that causes it, not what you eat."
Mhm.
And he said that there was a huge conference where they just had to, basically debunk that. So
Yeah. Well, everybody's saying, oh, you can't have, I mean, they were telling me I can't have tomatoes, I can't have anything with seeds, strawberries, not like, so I try stuff I want, see if it bothered me, if it not, those three things. Well,
GP.
the first one, this pistachios landed me in the hospital first. That's going to carry out. But now, and I'll try not to get too gross into this, but my diverticulitis, one of the polyps busted, it ruptured, and I kept telling them, I hurt, something's wrong, and so they kept saying, oh, it's just your diverticulitis, you'll be okay. Here's some antibiotics, then the swelling will go down, you'll be all right. They did that for a year, Jared.
Oof.
A year. And finally, this one little doctor, he's like, something don't look right. So, because he sent me for tests, and literally my body had built a wall, but I was so full of infection that it was eating up my organs.
Yep.
And I was basically out of it for like a week. They had me on so much antibiotics and stuff, trying to get the infections down.
Yeah.
And they ended up having to rush me into surgery. And that's when the doctor said, he came out, told Rick, he said, I was ready to send her home. I thought she had cancer, thought she was ate up with cancer. That's how full of infection I was. So I ended up having to have 4 major surgeries.
Your colon ruptured.
Yeah, my colon ruptured.
Oof.
So,
Yeah, that was what they were worried about with me. So.
Yeah.
And you had to wear a colostomy bag for 4 months.
Yeah, I had to wear a colostomy bag for 4 months because they had to cut that section out, but then they were able to reattach it. But I'm like, so yeah, you got all that diverticulitis out? No. Okay. So I still have diverticulitis.
Yeah, they've said that once you have the surgery, the flare-ups are less likely from what they've told me, but there's still possibility. It's just
right.
It's something that you'll never get rid of. Unfortunately, it's a genetic issue.
Yeah.
Yep. Yep. That's my papa suffered with it, and unfortunately, I get all the bad stuff from my grandparents.
Bill said, I'm told I'm
See, I feel that one, and you
can't say that here.
And I can literally, Bill, I could literally say, yes, I was full of it. GP, I have, see, May, June, July's all booked.
Take care of Mermaid.
All of August is open. I have the 5th, 12th, and the 19th open. So one of those days in August. Later, Anna.
Later, Anna.
But that's one thing I like about doing these, because like I said, I learned that you've got the other channel, and somebody else may have not seen you, or they might not know about the other channels and stuff too. So that's why I like doing these. And I do want to get to the point, like I said, I want to get those dog tags from you. That each night that we do something like this, Chop Shop, thank you. So when we do stuff like this, I can do giveaways, and I want to. I do a members night the end of the month, and I try to do giveaways then too. But you got to realize,
hey, finders keepers.
Hey, finders.
Ain't that right, Mark? Finders keepers. Hello, honey.
It's found in the tree.
But so yeah. So I'm glad that I know that you're still doing those, so that I can get some stuff like that.
I do a live usually on Thursday nights, 6:45 Central Time, and try to announce what I'm doing new and just how things are going. And lately we've been doing stuff for the Crusaders for a Cause Deaf and Hard of Hearing Awareness and Acceptance event that we're hosting here in Des Moines. So I've been talking a lot about that, but just trying to do something on YouTube and just do a live, if nothing else, if we can't make a video. So.
Yeah, that's what I was looking. You did a live, I saw that last week and stuff, and do the track right. Okay, yeah. So yeah, I mean, we understand that life happens, and like I said, life hasn't been kind to you recently, but it did bless you with a little Skittles,
Yeah.
And I still keep hoping that we'll see a little sneak peek, walk through the background, but anyway.
You might hear in a minute, actually, because I think she is waking up. So.
Oh yeah. But
we took her yesterday to the doctor, and she's at 9 pounds and almost 22 inches long.
Oh my gosh, that's healthy, baby. Yep. So you're kind of like us. You don't have like one particular niche, but I know you do a lot of magnet fishing and stuff like that. What got you into doing that?
Well, see, I've watched magnet fishing videos for years before I did it, and then Dad had gone up to Wisconsin for an event and had brought me a magnet, and I went out with him to a bridge that Bug and I go to regularly.
Mm-hmm.
And that's actually what made me start my channel, was going out to that bridge with Dad and just magnet fishing with him. And I kind of liked it and had fun. And I had an accident a few months before that where I was hit by a car. And that's why I walk with a cane. I've got back issues and issues with my right leg. So it had left me disabled, and I was needing something to kind of take my mind off of that and just doing schoolwork, because I was in pharmacy school at the same time. And that accident actually ended my pharmacy school career. So I kind of just, Dad brought the magnet that he'd bought me up, and it started from there. And I literally, within a week of Dad leaving, I started my own channel. So,
I was trying to figure out what
and then started just going around, just cleaning up areas throughout the area, because I noticed when we were looking for places to go magnet fishing that there was always trash and stuff all over the ground. So we'd just go and start cleaning up the ground wherever we'd go magnet fishing and cleaning the environment.
Yeah, that's what I like about it. And I actually we was out here in Florida this spring, out here at St. John's, and this one young kid, he was asking me why we did that. I said, well, to clean up the waterways. And Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm sorry. And so by that time he pulls out a big cast net and he says, well, can I cast here? I said, sure. I said, let me, I pulled in my I was pulling my magnet and I was getting ready to move anyway. And I pulled out a nail about like that. And I said, see, you don't want to get your cast net caught on that, would you? He went, no, that could tear my cast net up. I said, that's why I do what I do, And he's like, wow, so you could actually see him in our videos. He's like, he pulling a net, and I had never seen a needlefish before. I'd never heard of a needlefish before.
Yeah.
And so, he's like, so, we're playing with that on there, and stuff. So, but when you get to explain it that way, you're cleaning up the environment, making it better for others is good. Dry magnet fishing work well also. Yeah.
Yep. I've done a little bit of that whenever I didn't have a vehicle last summer. Outside of my apartments, I thought I was going to find a lot more of other things than what I found, but I pulled up roughly 3 coffee cans worth of nails out of the rock beds just in one small area. So,
yeah.
Like my biggest finds magnet fishing was 2 ATMs. And
ATM?
Yeah. I found 2 and possibly a third one that I'm waiting for the police to get a hold of me. I actually, in my live videos, I have 2 different lives, part 1 and part 2, of the Des Moines Police Department dive team coming out and diving to pull those ATMs out because they were so heavy I could not pull them out by myself. And they told me they weighed about 500 pounds each.
Wow.
But there was 2 of them in there, and the last time Bug and I went to that same location, we found another one possibly. So we're in contact with that detective again to let him know, hey, we may have found a third.
Yeah.
But back in 2023, there was almost 30 ATMs stolen in the area. And 2 of them I found were 2 of them that were stolen.
It'd be amazing if they still had stuff in there and you could get that, as a finder's fee. But
that's what I said. Funny thing is that same location where we found the ATMs, and some of my shorts, I found 4 different training grenades at that same location.
See, I want to get on a spot like that. I would be like, I'd be so addicted then. I'd be throwing in every hole of water walking. I told Rick this morning, I'm sitting there and I'm looking and I'm like, he's like, what are you thinking? I said, I'm thinking about going down to the water and throwing the magnet before it gets too hot. And I looked and it's like 11:30. I said, oh, too late. Because down here in Florida, it got to 96 today.
Ooh.
So
yeah, that's pretty warm.
So we do stuff early in the mornings or late in the evenings.
See, I grew up in Oklahoma, so I understand that.
Mm-hmm.
And just here lately, it's been really humid here in Iowa. So.
Oh, it is. I have not.
It's miserable.
It's miserably humid here.
Yeah.
I mean, you sit out on the porch under the ceiling fan, and your clothes get soaking wet because you're just. I mean, it's just. But we're still enjoying ourselves. We're still having a good time. We get out when we can. Like I said, we try to avoid the worst part of the day, but I'm wanting to take Rick on some adventures. So Neil says he grew up in Oklahoma.
Nice.
It's always been a state I wanted to see. I don't know.
Yeah, I was gonna say Mo's really good at finding fishing gear.
Oh, I actually have a fishing rod out in the building that I found at one of the docks down here. But I started asking what would be his favorite finds, but I think ATMs, training grenades.
My favorite find is actually this Zippo. It was a Zippo from 1957. I was able to identify it by the bottom. But that's one of my favorite finds, actually. And I found that actually at the location where we're doing the big event this year for the Crusaders for a Cause, which is the Lordenson Skate Park here in Des Moines. It's the same skate park that they use for the X Games and the Dew Tour every year when they do the Olympic qualifications. So
now, who all is going to be there at that event?
Hey, 5 Mile.
It's hard to say who all is going to be there. I know that I'm going to be there with the whole family. I believe Chop Shop and whatnot, and Wendy's Excellent Adventures looking at coming. I've heard several people talking about coming. It is free to enter. It's just, we'll have raffles and stuff like that going, and all kinds of things, all kind of fun things. I've got a bunch of local sponsors. I've talked with Casey's, the gas station and general store. Casey's is based out of Ankeny, Iowa, and they started here in Des Moines, so they're looking at sponsoring.
Right. And you said this is when?
August 30th and 31st. So it's Labor Day weekend.
Labor Day weekend. Okay. That might be something that, because I don't know, we had plans for this summer, but him getting hurt at work kind of threw a wrench into everything.
So I have actually a website for it that I've designed that I am posting in chat right now.
Awesome.
So Crusaders for a Cause 2025. It's a Canva site. I created it on Canva so I don't have to pay for the website. It's going to be here in Des Moines, Iowa. And all the proceeds from it are going to the Iowa Association of the Deaf, which they help with statewide here in Iowa with anyone who is deaf or hard of hearing trying to get into the Iowa School of the Deaf, seniors getting communication help and being able to have social lives. They do so much I can't even think of right now. But it's
probably
all
helping transition
all on the
from
website.
schooling to working and
and they help with people who are hearing with learning sign language also. So a lot of people don't know it, but I'm actually deaf myself. So I have captions on my computer that they say what's going on or tell me everything, and then I also have learned to read lips. That's another issue that I had years ago where that made me deaf was a semi-tire blew up 5 feet from me. So I've had a lot of accidents in my life.
We must be related. I've been ran over by a car twice, fell off a 50-foot rock cliff. I've had 5 hernia surgeries, and then the other stuff.
So yeah, I with this event, at first I was like, well, who do I want to do it for? And I'd contacted a really close friend of mine, and she was like, well, why don't I help you with setting it up for the Iowa Association of the Deaf? I'm the secretary for it, so I can set it up with the information, get you the information so it can be set up properly. So we kind of just ran from there. And
and I agree with Denise. Thanks for helping the communities. That is amazing. Not only as creators, because we do have a platform that we can share things out with and stuff, but as a human being, a good, responsible human being, it's amazing that there should be more people like that, so
Wendy, bubble wrap. I get threatened with that by my mother-in-law. So
yeah.
Actually, what was it? 2021. We were up at my mother-in-law's for mine and my son's birthday because Little man, his is on the 7th of July, and mine's on the 16th. So we went up and did a little joint birthday party. And my mother-in-law comes in and goes, "Happy birthday," and made a bubble wrap suit for me as a gag. So.
Oh my gosh.
And it's still sitting up at her house. So.
Yeah.
When I had to have ankle surgery, she told my wife, she was like, "Well, I'll add on to it and add the ankles." So.
Yeah, Rick's birthday is the 11th, so
Oh,
it could just be a whole week long of partying right there, you know. So, I was going to say what some of the things the viewers wouldn't know about you, but Lord, I'm learning so much about you that I didn't know.
Now we're supposed to be up in Wisconsin this week.
Yeah, we're supposed to be in Wisconsin this week.
not too far from me.
Yeah, we was going to go to an event up there, but like I said, him getting hurt at work, you know. But what was one of the main reasons that made you start YouTube? I mean, start your own channel.
Honestly, I needed something to do while I was down from pharmacy school after getting hit by the car, and so I wanted to be more social. And Dad had brought the magnets. I was like, "Hey, I like this, so I'll start doing it." And then it just kind of evolved from there. And I really started liking the YouTube and stuff.
Yeah, well, we're definitely we're going to try to start making our way out toward the west some, but we have to wait for a little bit cooler weather because we car camp. You know,
5 Mile wants to know if the suit worked.
I don't think it did. It wasn't thick enough bubble wrap.
He just bounced out of one serious situation into another one.
Yeah. It was kind of a funny gag whenever she did that. So
yeah, that would be from Edinburgh. Edward, where's that at? Oh,
Everton.
Alberton.
I can't even say it, let alone know where it's at. So
yeah, he's going to Shreveport in the morning. Nice.
Yeah, they're over in Louisiana, another state I want to visit. I got a cousin lives out in Beaubridge, Louisiana.
I completely agree with what Torchy just said. YouTube helps a lot of people get out and go on adventures and keep the mind active. Absolutely. And that's kind of what it was for me, because I was going crazy sitting at home with trying to do a summer chemistry class, and Wendy's told me that a few times.
Yeah, a human-sized hamster ball.
Yeah, see, that's one of the things with my mental disabilities. If I don't stay active, I have social anxiety disorder, believe it or not. Okay. But if I don't do something like this, I would be a hermit. There's been days that I'd step off my porch and just bawl and cry because I could not face the outside world, because I had stayed in, I had reverted back to my shell. And so my doctor says, you know, try something to where it takes you out in public on your where you can control it, you know.
Yeah, on your terms.
So I started doing, on my terms. And so that's part of the, and like sitting here talking to basically a stranger that I had never, well, I've seen you on some other people's chats, but I've not, converse like this with you.
Right.
Yeah, and I'll tell you the truth. First thing I do after a live stream is I hit the cigarette, because I'm like, ugh, but it helps me with this. And then again, getting out and doing things. When I get out and I have a purpose to do things, then I'm not concerned about what the world's thinking, because paranoia is a big thing with the bipolar and everything. See you, Bill. We'll catch you later. And that's what happened with me. The paranoia sets in. If you know how people will kind of look at you in a restaurant, well, my brain goes, what are they looking at? Is something wrong? Is my got hair out of place? Is my shirt, and I just, then by that time, my anxiety is over the roof. I'm just ready to go home, get in my house and hide, And so that's why I did the crazy colors in my hair. That's one reason, one way I got over kind of the paranoia. I thought, hey, if they're going to stare at me, I'll give them a reason to stare. Boom, I had red, blue, purple hair,
Let's see.
So, but the main thing that I want to stress to people talking about the social anxiety and stuff like that, what helped me the most, and people are like, oh, well, you must have really good meds for your bipolar and stuff. No, I don't. I can't do the meds because the bipolar is so bad that they treat one, it sends the other one off kilter. Treat the other one, then So I have to do it all with no meds. So that's why my doctor says if smoking helps, smoke. Just don't go crazy about it. Hey, Busby.
Hey, Bugsby.
They just need to take a picture in it last time. Oh, I have looked at some of them and gone, because I come to the realization, you know what? I'm me. Because I used to say, hey, medical. I used to say, oh my God, hey, I'm not normal, and I was hiding back. What is normal? This is my normal.
Sorry to cut you off. How much longer are you live normally? Is it
till about 9? Yeah.
Okay. So, give me just 1 second. I know there's someone you wanted to see, so I'm gonna go grab her.
Okay. Okay. But guys, I realized I'm me. I like me. Fat, old, broken, gray-headed me. But you know what? One thing I can be that you can't be, me. One thing I can be the best at, being me. Normal is boring. Exactly. So, yeah, I've got disabilities. I have to do things differently than other people, but that don't make me abnormal. Oh, look at that head of hair.
Yeah, she was born with a full head of hair.
Let me see. Solo layout. Look at, oh my goodness. Oh, that is adorable. She's so adorable.
And she's got such small feet, but big toes.
She does take after me, don't she? She's adorable.
Thank you. Oh. Yeah, I was like, you know what? I'm gonna go get her and give Mom a little break because she's been sleeping on Mom's chest. So
yeah, Mark, so I'm not normal. His channel name used to be Abnormal the Clown. He is my favorite normal, abnormal person. Okay. I mean, I'm just like, wear the badge proud, baby, because you know what? I am so not normal. No, I take that back.
Busby.
I put a new curve in the grading scale of normal. Okay. She's cuter than Jared.
Yeah.
So that's what people learn. If one thing I tell anybody, love yourself, okay? Because
Hey, Taryn
Corporation. Hello. Taryn, that's a friend. I think, yeah. I think I know who that is, but I know who that is, Anyway, and Jared, like you said, you went through this stuff too. But I think that once we learn to love ourselves and accept ourselves for who we are, it makes living life easier. It don't make it, all go away. But like I said, to beat the paranoia, I turn my hair different colors. They're going to look at something, give them something to look at, If people are going to stare at me, I'll be the center of attention,
A lot of people don't realize my first video on my Flying Arrow page was actually a PTSD awareness video.
Yeah.
So.
Hi, Taryn. Yeah, see, that's what, gosh, it's, and I don't know if everybody's like that, but with my bipolar came the, also the diagnosis of the severe depression, severe anxiety, PTSD, and of course, OCD goes along with that. And, and it's just like, you talking about a screwed up mind? Yeah. What are you grinning for over there?
I'm yawning.
My PTSD, whenever I was diagnosed, was back in 2015. And they said that I had what's called CPTSD, which is complex PTSD. So it's a lot harder for them to actually treat than the standard PTSD because the symptoms are worse. I've tried so many medicines, none of them worked until here recently.
And is that the one they don't know what triggers it? I mean,
Yeah, well, we knew what triggered it. It was just there were so many things. Because for me, my PTSD started with like I said, a semi-tire hit the building I was in, working security, and it blew up the tire 5 feet from me.
Yeah. Busby's wife threw him under the bus. No. Yeah, I mean, Busby. We were in a Walmart one day, and this lady kept looking at Josh because, he carries his pistol. He's got a carry permit. It's all legal, And so she was just like giving him the stink eye, And I'm like, you got a problem with my bodyguard? And she's like, what? Excuse me. I'm sorry, and she just turned and walked off, and then she keeps looking back like, who was that? Was I supposed to recognize that star? And so, yeah, it's funny because when you turn it back on people and make them feel like the odd one, they're like, what, and so, yeah. But anyway, let's see. If you could have coffee or drinks with any historical person, living or dead, who would it be, and what would you want to talk about?
That's a hard one. Any historical person. Honestly, that one's got me stumped because there's too many options.
Yeah. Once I started doing the historical reenactments and then asking this question on our lives, I'm like you. It's like, oh, whoa, wait, there's, oh no, then there's, Mark's, it's the Second Amendment lady. Ooh, you got that right. I got PTS from just being born. Reminds me of a onesie I saw today on a TikTok thing. It says, "I did 9 months on the inside. Now I'm doing life."
Hmm.
Oh, that was just so cute. There you go, Beth. So to love our neighbors as ourselves, that means we have to love ourselves first. Guys, you got to remember, and Mark, you are one of my favorite people. And you got to know that and got to understand that because of your attitude. Sometimes your jokes are off kilter, but hey, I'm right there with you, son, And I relate to you a lot. Okay. But you got to remember one thing. Ain't nobody can be you but you. So when you don't think you're good enough for this or that or the other, you are good enough to be you, and that's all that matters. You be the best you can be, and don't worry about if my dinner's cooked right or if my hair looks right or or whatever. It don't matter, because you know what? When we're all dead and gone, ain't nobody gonna say, "Well, you know what? I kind of like the way she wore her hair." They're gonna say, "I liked her heart. I liked her spirit. I liked her laughter." That's the things that people are going to remember. That's what our channel's all about, making the memories. And that little one right there, that little Skittles right there, that's that one's going to grow up and have a great childhood, because I know the parents they see to things like that. So Grandma Kelly was talking about playing in the rain and stuff like that. I said, that's when you had a good childhood. I taught my son to tell my mom. My mom was world's worst. "Oh, you're dirty." And I'm so tell her, a little dirt never hurt. It made the trees grow tall. And he would look at her and he'd get this little attitude to him. And so, but it's the truth. It's part of life. Um, we've gone through so many of this stuff that what makes you passionate and gets you motivated?
Let's see. What gets me passionate and motivated? Energy drinks. No. No, I drink a lot of energy drinks and coffee, but trying to clean up the world for my kids, trying to make it a better place for them.
That's amazing. That really is. When I had my heart attack and died on them twice, I have to throw that in there just because it was so good once. I thought I'd try it again. So I should be a perfectionist at it now, right? No. But I sit on the couch. I was afraid to do anything because I was afraid I was going to have another heart attack. And it's like, you beat the odds this time. But then I got to thinking, what kind of life is that?
Yep.
So I started going out and making memories with Josh, with Rick. And that's when I started posting these things so they could look back on them, because you never know. And so when you talk about being motivated, making life better for your family, that is just,
See, I don't really talk about this much, but I've died at least 6 times on the table. So, I mean, first time was during a shoulder surgery. The scope machine wasn't stabilized properly by the doctor, and the scalpel went through my shoulder and severed an artery. And I didn't know at the time, but I could have filed for medical malpractice, and I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I was 17, just about to turn 18 at the time. And so I didn't know any better. And then, when
Yeah.
I was hit by the car, that was another time. And then last year, I went in for just a general GI scope, and I stopped breathing on them. So
Yeah.
so,
My grandpa, every time he would go under anesthesia, they would have to fight to bring him back. But he lived to be 96, 94, 96, something like that.
yeah, like Dad said, he almost died this weekend.
Yeah,
Dad had
I
a
heard
really bad
that.
accident on the weekend, and he ended up having an epileptic seizure. And when they'd got to him, he'd gone into cardiac arrest. And I had just called Holly right when they were trying to revive him and everything, and the officer is telling me on the phone, and telling Holly, "We need you to back up. He's in cardiac arrest." And so I'm sitting there going, "Oh my God, I'm about to lose my dad. I just had a baby. We just went through an apartment fire literally the same week, and then almost losing Dad."
Wow,
So
that would be rough. Mark, one thing I want to say right here on this one, I've got multiple characters. Be careful. I'm not saying that, there's anything wrong or anything like that, but I know from my experience where I am bipolar, I put on that face and I tried being everything I thought everybody thought I should be. This is how they thought I should act, so this is how I acted and stuff. And I almost caused me to have split personality. The doctor said if I had gone any longer with not being diagnosed, if I had have hid all this stuff any longer, I would have probably had a split personality, because I could be one thing and then be another thing. And it was getting to the point to where the left hand didn't know what the right hand was doing. It was losing connect there, so just be careful. What are 3 channels that you would recommend?
3 channels I'd recommend. Well, Dad pulled me into this, so I'm going to say Dad's, because he pulled me into the YouTube world. And then I would say Wendy's Excellent Adventure, because Greg and Wendy are really great. Greg's been doing his own thing on his channel, Chop Shop and whatnot, here recently, but a lot of their stuff's on Wendy's channel for the magnet fishing and stuff.
Right.
And then Johnny's Corner. I know Johnny's up there in numbers, but he's still really genuine with everyone, staying true to himself.
There you go, Beth. Disconnected identity disorder. That's the other one I couldn't think of. Yeah. So, you know what? And when I first I thought I was the only one suffered like this. That I went through this stuff, I should say, because I don't suffer no more because I don't allow it. I tell people, and this is one thing I hope that anybody could take this away. I may have a disability, but it doesn't have me. Okay? It controls you only as much as you allow it to. You may have to do things differently, or whatever, but do it your way. That's what makes it yours. Multiple characters, different clown characters, no different personality. Okay, there you go. Yeah, I enjoy seeing Chop Shop and them. Like I
Oh,
said,
yeah.
I'm just getting to know them, and Chop Shop, you're on my radar. I've got August open for interviews, you know.
Mhm.
But anyway, that way I get to know people, you know. And maybe, like I said, I was always told if you want to be a millionaire, hang out with millionaires. You know, if you want to be a bum, hang out with bums. If you want to be a professional, you hang out with professionals. If you want to be a
Yep.
great YouTuber, hang out with great YouTubers. Chop, chop, Wendy, all you guys, Beth and Neil, I just love them to death, and I've never met them. You know,
I
I
agree
mean,
with Wendy.
guys.
Good luck getting Greg up there.
Hey, I have got one guy that I'm trying to get up enough nerve to approach because this guy's got the gold button, okay? But on his channel, you never see his face and you never hear his voice. So I'm working out a plan. So, yeah, just wait. But anyway, but guys, we have gone over, and like I said, everybody in here is a moderator for a reason, and that is to check everybody's channel out, not just in here, but in any chat you go to. If they make you a moderator, check out the other channels. For one, they're great entertainment. Two, these people have worked hard on these channels. Trust me, YouTube is not easy.
No, it's not.
Three, you get ideals. You get information on how to grow, and you might find a different hobby or a different interest that you didn't even know you liked. That's how I got metal detecting. That's how I got magnet fishing. That's how, you know. So, self-growth messages from a friend. Couldn't say it more. That right there, Mo, stop.
Mo's another one that I would recommend.
Yeah.
Mo is an awesome friend and person.
So see that right there. It's self-growth, and with our channel in particular, and I know the Treasure fam is the same way. That's why I gravitated toward them. Is I treat everybody on my channel like their family. You know, I got a new niecey right there, a new Skittles. Even my memberships, selfless plug. Even my memberships, your cousins, your relatives, it's all family oriented. We do these lives around our table so that we have a family gathering around our kitchen table. So that's what I love about this community is you are treated like family. You are loved, you're supported, you're looked after. And I just think everybody is great. And Jared, I have been watching you guys from way back. And I love the family aspect of the stuff. And I love your creative and your talents and the stuff that you're able to do. Don't get me started on disability things. Yeah, Busby. Yeah. We understand that, honey. One of these days we'll just have to do a whole big thing. But yeah, guys, I love each and every one of you. And Jared, thank you so much for being here. Jared has the golden bell for dying. What's that trophy? A golden casket? Yeah. But that right there, that little one right there, Jared never dies. Jared never die because he'll always live on right through there.
Yep.
But guys, thank you all for being here. Jared, like I said, I appreciate you so much. And I am so proud to be part of this treasure fam. And we thank you all for accepting us, into the family. New permissions, coffee. There you go.
Well, I want to say thank you for having me up, and thank you to everyone who has subscribed to me tonight. It's putting me back to where I'm back at 5 away from 400. So thank you for all that. And thank you for all the support from everyone.
Yeah. And I hope to see shorts put up, not your shorts, but shorts of Skittles.
Oh yeah.
So we all watch Skittles grow, so. But all right, guys,
Yeah,
we're going to go off of here and jump over and give Papa Roush a big hug and a smack and tell him Angie sent you. Great interview. Enjoyed getting to know you better. See, that's what I love about these, Beth. That's why I'd like to get you all up here. Selfless plug. Sorry. But anyway, guys, I love you. And we will see you next week is our members night. We will have a giveaway definitely for the members. And if all goes well and we, have the ability, we'll probably do a chat giveaway also. But anyway, guys, so we'll see you all next week. And then we will start talking about next month's lineup, which is also awesome. So, guys, I love you. And we're going to jump off here. What do you got to say, Mr. Rick?
Bye.
See, guys, y'all say I never let him talk.
No.
That I let him talk. Bye, guys.
Bye.
Love you.